Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound. We are backstage at Reading Leeds Festival 2023. Nothing but thieves on the lineup. Connor joins me now. How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad.
Escaped the rain.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure you can hear this in the back of the audio. The heavens have opened, ladies and gentlemen, but that's Leeds Fest. How was Reading yesterday? Looked absolutely outrageous, the footage I've seen.
We had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah?
I'm always such a good boy. I never drink. I never do anything after the show. We had all the family and friends there, and I just decided to let my hair down and have a bit of fun. And so I'm a little bit hungover today, which is never normal, but it was a good night. It was an amazing show. It was really good.
You sound in good voice already. You sound ready for this. It's going to be absolutely fine.
I'll get there. I'll have some tea and I'll be fine.
Well, I should say as well, congratulations. As the last time we spoke, the album went #1, baby. That was very, very exciting. You must be delighted with not just a chart position, but the reactions in general to the record have been so overwhelmingly positive. A lot of new fans coming through there as well, particularly look at the success of something like Overcome. Like, it's really nice to see it. It just keeps growing and keeps building, right?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, in retrospection, we didn't think about it and didn't over-plan the sound change or anything like that at all. And I remember when we were in the writing process and thinking, oh, some of these shifts are quite avant-garde, but we didn't feel like we had any pressure on our shoulders. I didn't really seem to care about like trying to make a follow-up album to like with songs like Amsterdam or anything like that. We were just writing what we wanted to write, having fun with it, not really thinking about it. And then 6 months to a year later, you've got a collection of songs, and then you put them out, and then you go, oh, okay, this is wildly different. This is wildly different now. How's it going to go? And then you play the first festivals. So I remember the first time we played Welcome to the DCC, we were in Australia, and it was the first song we played on the set list as well, so the first song, and we were like, how's this going to go? And it popped off, and we were like, okay, maybe this is doing something, and so it's good, but pleasantly surprised. But yeah, there was definitely a tiny moment of fear of going, okay, this collection of songs are wildly different, but we'll see what happens. But no, they've gone down really, really well. Oh,
overwhelmingly great reaction. What's interesting as well, I mean, I find I say this with all the bands I speak to really, but it's inevitable, isn't it? You put those new songs in a set, they're going to change, because it's how you feel playing them on stage. It's seeing that reaction as well. Sometimes it's often things get heavied up live and all that kind of stuff. How have you found that process of actually putting these newer songs to the set for the first time? Any changes, anything interesting you've noticed there?
It's refreshing. I think Welcome to the DCC has a kind of gnarlier underbelly live. It's heavier.
It's dark.
You feel
it,
yeah. You feel the live drums pump through a lot more. I think they fit. It just seems to fit. It also gives me, this album I've noticed, it gives me so much more respite. Before we were doing 15, 16 songs plus, and every song was, me hollering at the top of my lungs. And we haven't got that this much on this record, which I love. So the set seems to flow, and it's probably less exhausting for the crowd as well as myself.
Well, I remember last time we chatted as well, you guys were sort of hinting about building that next live show. And again, I know you don't want to give too much away here, but these arena plans sound exciting. We're world building, as we've been doing with the record as a whole, right? What kind of stage are you guys now at? Is it kind of fully realised? You figuring out what you're doing?
We are literally we're going to America very, very soon. But we've already got everything prepped for the UK run. We're gonna start teasing some of these kind of DCC-esque ideas within the American run, but yeah, it's really fun. It's really immersive, and we've had a lot of laughs building it together. It's good.
No, I love that. I love all that kind of immersive stuff and seeing it kind of build together. It's what gets you deeper into the record, man, as well, when you see those kind of world building stuff. I want to mention as well, you had the honor that so many bands in the alternative world get now and then, but you had that honor, the little nod from Elton. That's always a nice moment, isn't it? The little Elton John radio appearance.
That's bizarre.
How was it for you? I mean, I've spoken to a few rock stars who've been like, I was shaking on the other end of that phone. How were you with that?
He's so, he's got such a strong character.
Yeah.
He's fairly intimidating, but he's really lovely.
He's so enthusiastic.
He was really lovely, really enthusiastic. But yeah, like I said, just the way he says stuff is so direct and so strong that it did take me off guard. And again, I think I went to my friend's 30th, so I was so hungover talking to Elton John. Who's that?
Elton John. That's how hungover you were. That was it.
Elton John. And I was just like, what's going to happen? I'm terrified. And it just went in like 3 or 4 minutes. It was over. But he was really complimentary. He loved the songs. He really complimentary of the songwriting, of the production, of my voice. It was great. It was wild. It was I was on the phone to Elton John.
Yeah.
Sir Elton
Surreal. John. Icon right there. No, it's so exciting to get the nod like that. I know you're always working on new music. That's something you guys have always said. You're always just kind of keeping those fires burning, which is great. Remember we said before you kind of like the idea of maybe dipping your toe occasionally back into the DCC world. Like maybe like, oh, once every while, that's a DC. How is the kind of newer material you're actually playing with a minute for me? Does it feel from this era, from this world, or is it something completely different?
Truthfully, and this is the truth, and I'd actually really recommend it for any artists, it's we're having a complete break from writing.
Oh, wow.
We are right now, because what the error we did with Moral Panic was we kept going, kept flowing. We had so much time, pandemic, we just kept writing. That ended up the material, sonically as well, just felt similar. This time we said we're not going to do that. Like, we've just put the record out. It gives you a break of interest. It gives you your interests that you're into, the music you're listening to, how you're feeling. It gives you a respite, because then 6 months later you might be into something completely different. You might be listening to something completely different as an influence, or you're just in a different place. So for us, we were like strict with it this time. Like, even if we're all at home, you know, you can't help it, just, you know, playing a bit of guitar and like going on Logic and making a small thing here or there, but generally trying to stay away, because I think it's really healthy for you to have a break and a sonic change. It will happen 6 months later, because you're a different person, you'll listen to stuff differently.
Yeah, God, that's really, really interesting. Yeah, I remember that's something that's always been a part of you guys, just keeping the writing. But yeah, maybe this is the way to try something new and mix it up.
It won't be long till we're back, but like it's like writing again, but it's you need it.
Absolutely. Do you think we might get like an EP in between again, or anything like that? Or is it too early to say? I know the record's just dropped. It's kind of unfair to ask you that in a way, but
there's definitely there's something cooking.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, it's like when we write a record, we write a lot of songs.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say there's stuff cooking.
But
I don't really know what to say other than that.
It's on the boil.
Because I'll get told off, as always.
We can have some teasers and some hints. We know the drill. That's absolutely fine. We'll see what kind of comes in the future for sure. I'm going to let you go and get ready for this show. But man, looked absolutely outrageous yesterday. Can't wait to see more live shows later in the year, and all the best to you till then. All right.
Thanks, man. Nice to talk to you.
Good to see you, Connor. Everybody.
Cheers.